Good evening and welcome to Solano College for tonight's men's basketball matchup. Between on the call for tonight's game are my broadcast partners Trey Hunt and Brian Ambriz.
Freshman Devin Neal has led his team in both scoring and rebounding, hosting play through the freshman who is on fire right now.
And now, Brian, turning over to you. What should we expect to see from Solano coming into tonight's game after a tough loss last night?
Yeah, like you said, Nate, they're coming off a tough loss in which they were held to just 56 points, well below their season average.
For us up here in the booth for pregame, and when we return, we will have the tip-off for you shortly here. Off against each other tonight on a Tuesday night. Hope everyone is staying dry out there. Man, just this morning I was walking out of my house and there was no rain at all, and now all of a sudden I go on the highway, just rain comes. You had some car issues then?
Huh?
You had some car issues then?
Just dirty, you know?
Oh, I understand.
Free car wash.
Right, there you go. Not always going to get the dirt off, but as we see the introductions for Solano's players right now, as they're looking to bounce back after their tough loss against West Valley. And really, again, we said in our broadcast last night, they had a good start to the second half, but overall, it's
like we've seen how many open opportunities they have. They just couldn't execute on the offensive end. Their defense looked pretty solid last night, but coming into this game, they have to make sure they execute on both sides of the court.
Yeah, Solano just couldn't get over. You know, every time it got close, they pulled ahead. And let's hope Solano can get the W tonight here at home.
So let's set the stars for you for the visiting Contra Costa Comets. Andrew Giang out there along with Sam Johansson. Jalen Scott, Devin Neal out there along with John Wade. They're underway here from Solano College between the Comets and the Falcons. And first shot of the night for the Comets. Rims out, fight for the rebound as we have a collision here as both players fall to the floor as it will be side out.
Adams fell to the ground pretty hard right there. Oof.
Yeah, Adams hit the deck pretty hard, as you were saying, Trey. So the first possession of the game for Solano here is to see Economo get rejected. Second chance opportunity. Won't.
Shows how much he wants it more than the people who's actually guarding him. And unlike Solano all year, they've had trouble with.
Now 2-0 in favor of Solano.
Falcons looking good already.
13 on the shot clock. As we see a nice handoff here from Solano. Kick out to the corner. Adams launches for three. Won't fall. And a rebound taken by the Comets. Oh, and miscommunication right there. Almost a turnover.
You know, they know Solano lacks some size. Only Economo is out there who's the tallest right now. And Devin Neal definitely is taller than him. So I looked for that.
Inbound underneath the rim.
I was watching Andrew before the game started, and he has a nice cornered three shot that he was knocking down very consistently, so I wouldn't be shocked if he knocks some down during this game.
You're going to need a lot of good closeout from your Solano defenders tonight. Let's see what the referees call here. There's a whistle on the floor as it's already a second team foul as well for the Comets.
Yeah, those early fouls are never good because it takes you can't be as aggressive as you really wanted.
That's been a trend in the last few games. A lot of calls on that travel going off the wrong foot.
So, again, that's the last thing I'm sure Coach Aubert wants to see from the squad tonight as see a almost loose ball here. As Solano's definitely bringing their defense out here early. As here's the first shot of the night. That time for Jalen Scott. And his shot is good. It's now a tied ball game. Driving inside layup is good with a nice kiss off the glass that time for Uriah Benning.
That's how Solano gets started. All that ball movement with
13 assists per game, so Solano definitely has
team at all times.
And that time, Donnell Stafford and first half of play. And so far, we've seen
failing in to their off.
You know, they're coming off screens and handing the ball off and getting good scoring with 21.4 points a game. So he could definitely score the ball, and he's had some troubling games in the past. But, you know, tonight, the first game of conference play, I look for him to have a big game.
So I hope he comes in today being more aggressive down
Points. They average about 80 points a game.
That's true.
Chance to get back to the win as they'll go ahead and set up their offense. Bang. Let's see, Jordan Adams, long three, rims out. Stafford. And we'll have a foul called here. It's going to remain on the floor. Don't believe they're going to call a shooting foul, as that will go against Contra Costa. Rasheem Frazier now into the game for the Comets. It's now a 9-6 lead. They'll go to Neal down low and count it, and one. Devon Neal with a chance for a three-point play.
Just throw it up and he could just easily catch it down low.
Yeah, super athletic too.
Game. He's got Keith Allison beat by just 0.1 points per game.
Being the most aggressive player on the team, he'll be trying to separate himself more. But the squad
as we'll go the other way here. As a look for direction here from their coaching staff. Gang fires a
three-point shot, and it looks nice coming in today.
As here's a three by Roseboro, won't fall. And here comes Giang in a hurry.
That was a very nice way to use that backboard to help you.
Solano's got to start working. You know, we saw the same move last night from Jordan Adams trying that post work, and now he's going to be called for the travel.
Yeah, falling back on his.
He practices that every single time, but that no shot is called. It is on the floor as
his coach is telling him right now, like, you have to go get that loose ball.
First half last night where there wasn't time from Isaiah Thomas.
That
nope.
Might have been Devon Neal.
Yeah, that was Devon Neal. My mistake. Saw a 5 and I thought it was a 1. I have no idea why. It's just Yang in the first half of play as they currently are starting to wake up here.
Including the ball movement, because we know Andrew.
And just a reminder, stick around right after this broadcast as we will have the women's team for the Comets and the Solano Falcons facing off against each other. Tip-off will start shortly right after the men's basketball game. And yeah, you definitely mentioned from taking a look at both sides moving forward, it's going to get ready to set up their offense. As Yang firing a three and hits right back out as Uriah Benning will set up his offense.
That just proves how much practice helps you be perfect.
As Adams' corner triple is good. Jordan Adams with this sizes up his defender. Frazier almost lost.
Super impressed with that guy right now.
Yeah, Yang not being the biggest person.
And already he's in double figures. So it's very big to see him have a big scoring night already here in tonight's game as a sophomore through 12 games. Again, only playing averaging.
Like, we have to stop Devin.
The Comets will set up their offense here as Neal is asking for it, and yeah, he's doing whatever it takes to launches for three, and a little bit of contact, no foul there. Here comes a quick outlet. It's a 2-on-1 developing.
That was a good job by Solano to hurry up and get back on defense. Even though we saw how Jordan Adams fell down there taking a shot, he was able
full court press coming at him as it seems like it's working, but that time Adams, I believe he got denied by.
A lot of the offense gets run through the starters, and we need the bench scoring to pick it up here.
Good ball movement we're seeing here as we see a handoff to Frazier. Frazier up top, kick out corner three on its way. Uriah Benning throw it away. He was trying to kick it to Adams in the corner, but just. So now we'll see how they answer here on defense, and Frazier lost it. He was losing his balance, and it's a little shooken up, and you see Neal coming back into the game. As the Comets says one, hits front iron, and rebound taken by Ashton. Showing a lot of emotion here in tonight's game.
Oh, he's hyped. Big game from him coming.
But Uriah Benning responds with a three. It's now 21-19.
That's how you stay in the game. Like, no matter what happens, no matter what turnover, you come back and you still be aggressive with that three-point shot. That was a great shot.
Yeah, Benning had a great look. Wasn't surprised he took that three, and a foul is called. Do believe he was in the shooting motion. Yep. 2 shots on the way for Solano.
And that's good for Frazier because, like we said, we saw him go down earlier getting banged up, so this is where he can at least slow the game down to recover.
Open, my mistake. I said 2 shots for Solano. It's 2 shots for the Comets. As Frazier hits the line and knocks down the first. As again, tonight's game is being presented by James Thomas Media, your one stop for all your media needs.
So right now we have 4 reserves in for the Falcons, so this is where your bench comes in and helps give those starters that relief so they can trust their bench.
Yeah, we got Alex Stepney out there, fantastic three-point shooter.
Yeah, you mentioned that, Brian. He definitely was showing a lot of signs of not being afraid to take the three last season. As we see now here in early action, we'll see if he'll have a few looks at a three. And here's one, and it's no good. So the Comets won't fall, and a rebound taken by Stepney. For any team moving forward, as we see Stafford giving a little room here. He's going to drive it. As we now see Canales now kick it to Giang, and instead, turnover, Solano basketball.
Just not helping your teammate, really.
Economo checks back into the game for Solano. As you have to start seeing Solano get their offense going, and one guy that can definitely showcase a lot of his post work is Cole Arabian, as we see a pass go over to Stepney, as now we see Holland handling pass out to Roseboro. Handoff. As we now see Frazier inside. Frazier with back-to-back buckets. It's now 27-19. And as you were mentioning, Brian, Solano
Games they've had deficits going in there.
as we see a pointless three in my. There's the defense I'm talking about, as Economo stepped right into the pass.
Even touches, you don't want him to let any easy touch. You want him to fight for not just every bucket, but every single touch he has to get.
A little bit of everything from them.
We see a pass inside, mishandled from Canales. As we see Giang up top, once again going to his offense. Calling for the screen, he finally gets it.
Players in that situation, they try to throw the ball off the opposite team, but right there, you just said, I'm just going to throw it up, see whoever catches it.
Yeah, normally they will throw it off the foot, as you mentioned. Floats it up, and foul is called, and Adams will head to the line for 2.
You can tell it's very.
Any kind of offense you can. Now 32-23.
Yeah, that was a good timeout by the Comets right there, because you see they could get out to the second half.
They need to get going. Definitely don't you gotta think.
It's like they pulled up 3, pulled up ISO, but
I don't definitely look tired when they were on this and their offense moving forward.
see how tired they are right now. And we haven't seen that as much lately.
Stafford.
Whenever they try to make
Ball. As
feels like.
a foul is called. That's going to put Frazier. And this first shot is good. Hey, I want to remind everyone of sports broadcast. You can check it out on our YouTube channel labeled Under Off. That's GREGPOF. Lead is on its way for Adam. Rims out as Adam tracks down the rebound for 2. Yes.
Get back into this game.
That big body in the paint.
So he 28-34 now.
We haven't seen much missed free throws from Solano. That's going to be big.
Steal. Here come the Falcons. What is the call against Uriah Benning? We'll go the other way, and
How much effort they were putting down on that offense.
here's Giang now. As the Comets.
They seen how much Solano was attacking them down low, and they instantly put Neal back in the game.
I'll send Stafford to the line. Depends on the way you spell it, as we able to get his name. As I always remember that we're playing the Lakers, and in result went
I knew every day.
as a nice cross.
Something gave him confidence today. Something told him to, I'm going to take.
Stafford was in the shooting motion, so regardless, Stafford's first free throw was no good as Stafford unable to make both. Back up to double digits here. They'll go to Neal and back to Holland. The 32. Able to get it.
I definitely thought that was a I was just about to mention how I see how Yang is looking pretty fatigued, but then they gave him a sub, so that was a perfect timing right there.
Still plenty of time for Solano to consider lead. Back up to 8, and using the arm bar that time was Anthony Jones. Going to be a turnover and head the other way.
Hatfield down low, and he didn't even look down there.
That was a pass out of Frazier. Back up top by Stafford as he'll come up court in a hurry. And he off pass, and the 15-footer is good. Approaching the end of the first half here as Adams will look up top. Good.
We should be so used to that. When we see that much ball.
Half. No good.
He's been an interior presence with Devon. He's going inside, finding his open man. You know,
Trey, what has been working so far for the Falcons? And comments hold a 44-37
class of the sports broadcasting program offered here at Solano College.
Wanted to come to Solano Community College, and it's been a great experience so far, and I'm definitely glad I took it.
Just wanted to do has been really fun.
Can you guys take me back to the first game that you ever did here?
Or anything like that. I just remember that Pop to go to work, and then the other coach.
It's all good.
So I had to do.
And obviously, you're never going to forget that
Oh, yeah,
experience.
definitely.
What about you, Nate?
Be doing color commentating for like the third quarter, and that was about it. And so I had a really fun time. I believe I was doing it with Stephen Babb and Chad Core for the entire game.
Aggression, overtime.
I think so. I mean, I think with my first one, I picked up speed, again with the flow of it. I sort of realized that, hey, let me just go ahead and speak a little louder and sort of expand my vocabulary as I continue with.
To pick up the energy, and it was kind of difficult because I first started doing baseball games, but as I've done like volleyball and
Something you guys have both wanted to do. Okay.
it had Dwayne Kuiper had it like up until like 5 or 6 years ago, and then I finally gave it away or something.
Oh my gosh.
It was yeah, just that first
NBA games, just listening to either Grant Napier or Jeremy or sports anchor one day, incredible people.
Has there been a game so far that you guys have done where you're like, what?
Yeah, I've watched some volleyball games. I'm a big BYU sports fan,
Okay.
all sports. So it's helped doing something that I was like completely uncomfortable with, as opposed to like baseball or basketball. Definitely a learning experience.
Yeah. I mean, everyone says the key to success is you got to be comfortable with being in situations.
I would say for me, definitely, most definitely, any type of situation you get yourself into, whether we're doing a broadcast, something goes wrong. You really get prepared for those kind of situations, and I feel like with this program, it's so career, and if you have any type of situation like that, it sort of gets you ready for any type of.
It helped because I was taking a public speaking class when I first started taking the sports broadcasting class, so kind of.
So would you say this program has exceeded your expectations, or do you think that, like when you came in, did you fall in love with it even more?
But just everything I've learned has helped me so much.
And for me personally, again, this program has been definitely an amazing. At the same time, you sort of get more confidence booster when you're doing a broadcast, or even just broadcast. Can come in the studio and do whatever they want if they just ask.
You're like, you press play?
Before I did any like color commentary or anything on broadcast, I did a couple of the what would you call them, whatever, and I would cover my ears because I hated it so much.
But you learn over time that that's the only way to get better, right?
And I feel with me, when I first heard my voice possibly hear myself do over and over the years. And, here I am. I think I've done at least 25, 30 plus
That's
broadcasts
awesome.
so far, whether it's volleyball, baseball, or even, YouTube channel, and just learn, what can I do to fix myself for the next broadcast.
What would you say that your overall goal or your dream job would be?
My overall dream job would be just a basketball sports broadcaster, whether of either doing it again, play-by-play, or just even being a sports anchor and talking about sports all day. I feel like if anybody can talk about sports for their entire day or work around the
Covering a sports team, whether it be like the play-by-play person, like specific, I think he's
Within this program.
So getting me in broadcast, working with other people, talking with camera people, our producer Brian as well, talking with those kind of people and, giving me advice on how to, take into consideration of how I want to better myself, and being a better sports broadcaster definitely helps, especially with, anybody in my life that's giving me advice or criticism. I feel like those kind of people have definitely had a major impact, and Greg Pop is definitely one of them.
How has Pop helped you?
Poff, he's not afraid to challenge you or myself. 'Cause he sees the potential in people more than we see it. So he knows where to put us on each broadcast, what to say to help us learn, help us just to progress more in the broadcasting field.
So what would you guys say would be the best piece of advice if you could give to anyone that wants to be a part of this program?
The best piece of advice I can give to anyone wanting to do this program is just always come prepared. You're definitely going to have your work cut out for you, and, even this day, being prepared for any type of broadcast is just going to be very important. If you come into this class thinking that, oh, it's just a little bit of work, it should be an easy class, easy A, you definitely have to treat it like a real job, and that's definitely what Pop told us from day one. This is sort of like a job as itself, because same time you have to come prepared to either any class, any broadcast, come with your notes, questions you might want to ask if you have to do an interview. So I definitely feel like this is sort of something you can treat as a job, and at the same time it helped me prepare for that in type of any situation.
Yeah.
Broadcasting stuff, I don't want to be the person in front of the camera. I want to be the person.
That'll change over
on.
time, just watch.
Yeah, just be ready to be uncomfortable.
Yes, we can say that we can do what we love what we do, and we'll never have to work a day in our lives. So thank you guys both for joining another episode of On Campus. I'm your host, McKenna.
As the Contra Costa Comets currently hold a 7-point lead over the Falcons, and
Worst team to go against, really in any sport. If you face someone who has a lot of confidence,
as
as he is, only averaging 3 points.
Rannes, he's in the right opportunity. But for Solano, they got to make sure that doesn't happen moving forward, as we see a little given. Solano will now try to get their offense going and start the second half on a good note. They did in their last game, but again, weren't able.
He took a lot of threes, which is not really his game, really. But that his post game right there, that's what his team needs.
He's now seeing a lot of good defense where Solano's in, as that pass is deflected, head has a bounce, and
Defense, the zone, it can help make the offense feel more comfortable because it's giving more space. But this man, it makes you feel like that you have no room to go.
here's a floater, and it is good. John Wade with a bucket here in the second half.
This half, they're going to need to play, smart, efficient basketball for the full 20 minutes.
Armani Kanamo with another turnaround J. That time from the left side of the court, 41-46.
You make one, you come back, you think you can make another one. So why not take another one?
He's starting to feel a little
Aggressive offensively, being more confident with their shots, but they need to bring it on the defensive end too now.
Defense is hitting on all cylinders. It's now just have to worry about their defense. It is more than manageable, as it's 48-43. Plenty of time, but now again, just get into your defense. That almost could have been a foul, but instead it leads to Devin Neal's bucket inside.
If you're Solano, you can't keep going bucket.
Who's going to give in first?
We're gonna see here, as the Comets have the foul is called down low. Who's it going against? That is the looking like from the 45 to 50, Solano comes Yang.
See, I don't really know about that shot because your team was doing so good.
Kick it down low to Neal. Left open and knocking down another three.
And that's what I saw in the pregame. He was practicing that corner three over and over again, and I rarely saw him miss too, just like he's barely doing tonight.
Not being able to tell from his last season stats, but as we see Stafford with a little floater, that is good. But again, you're trading buckets. You have to get some defensive stops.
Yeah.
Look, going inside right there again, worked for Solano. They just gotta keep that up and just step it up on that defensive end.
The foul going
bucket for bucket. That's the type of sacrifice you need from your team.
Solano definitely wants to.
in the end, it's going to have to matter on how their defense plays going down the stretch. Stafford, nice crossover, heads in the inside paint. Unable to fall, and a rebound. Comets ball still. Giang, same spot, different result. And they weren't trying to take it up, but that was a nice behind the back move from Uriah Benning, but he just sort of loses it. And there is a foul on the floor.
He had a nice opportunity to get it down to 4 or 3, and just ended up blowing that one.
That's exactly what the Comets wanted by bringing that full court press. It made Solano.
Giang almost left wide.
Solano switched back to their zone. They eased back. They didn't want the same man defense. So let's see how the zone works out for them.
One of the he so far had a fantastic game.
It's now a 2-possession ball game.
I don't think Solano's hit a 3 this quarter yet, or this yet.
They have not. They've gone inside that time.
Those easy buckets down low.
Well, here's one from Barry Roseboro, but that shot is no good.
Move there.
It seemed like there was confusion for the Solano defense. They didn't know what to get into.
By Devin Neal.
Keeping a tally, guys. It's the 4th time Jordan Adams has hit the floor.
An aggressive player. Yeah, you're 6 here. And he does.
Stays perfect.
Solano finds himself in a 6-point deficit. So the defense really has to start showing out as Frazier gets inside and gets rejected. That time from Economo. Here comes Solano's offense going in a hurry. And a nice fast break point for Solano. Ricky Holland able to get the layup.
That was a good effort by Ricky Holland right there, giving your team that bench energy. That's exactly what they need.
Timeout on the floor.
It just gives you so much energy when you see one of your players
go in transition, and like you said, that block really so far was a difference maker, I think.
Those are the type of plays that will help you win a ball game, as Economo's defense definitely stepped up in the right time. And that can also wake up Solano's offense moving forward.
So we see that the Comets are keeping out Devin Neal. So let's see how Solano decides to attack inside.
As the Comets get inside and score for 2.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of flopping right there.
As we now see
Though to chase his own rebound, though, just didn't get it.
and look at Stafford cutting into the passing lane. The Comets will inbound it on the side as checking into the game is Cole Arabian. Jordan Adams checks out for the first time here in the second half.
It seems that Solano has switched back to their man defense.
As it was tipped and deflected, now it falls into the hands of Yang. Down low, work inside, and a foul is called. That's going to go against Economo.
Held his ground, kept his hands straight up in the air. Definitely a call.
I think the one argument the referee could make, that's the only argument I can think the ref would make. And what's going
You need to create more turnovers for the Comets so you can able to.
6.
And still plenty of time as we see Holland with a nice pick and roll action, but misses the layup. Comes a block on the other end. It is met by John Wade, but That time, Holland able to clean it up and score the bucket.
From where I'm sitting at, it definitely seemed like that was a goaltending call.
It was close, but what a emphatic block by John Wade.
Yeah, I think Warrior fans got LeBron James flashbacks there as a handoff here.
Game is definitely not over. Nowhere near.
Yeah, what a
Yeah, this is a back and forth action that really see Stafford flexing it, and he will head to the line for
versus 56 just last night.
Even with the comments being up, we're seeing a lot of more energy from the Falcons bench. Just keeping your team in the game, helping them be energized. That helps a lot down the stretch.
The energy is there for sure, as it's not. Now it is John Wade heading inside, and as regardless of that, still the Comets are heading to the line.
It was a good idea to put your body on the line for your team, but sometimes it does not work out the way you want it to.
Season, only averaging 3 points per game, however.
Well, from Andrew, it seems like 3 points a game doesn't mean really anything.
Falcons on top with a 1 point lead. Timeout.
Call timeout. You feel like you have that energy that you.
They had a good start to their offense in the second half last night. How is it going to look in?
What a smooth high arcer that one was. Just what he needed to get going.
For a while now, but once he gets back in the game, I feel like they really give.
Close out this game with a W by just hustling to every place, getting every open shot.
You just have to keep it in. You have to have the biggest heart out there.
Oh yeah, it sets the tone big time.
Yeah, these players want it for sure, and the Comets want it for sure as well. As now we'll see the Comets inbound it here as Nieves will take it up himself. Elijah Canales gets on the board for the first time here in the second half.
That was a great finish inside.
Here's that. Climb the top of the line.
Your team's struggling right now, that you need to be the one that wants it more down there.
So another chance to tie the game here for Frazier, and he's unable to.
He's not going to knock him down all the time.
Those are costly in such a big game, close game that is.
And we have one here as a foul is called. I believe we called a hand check. Uriah Benning up tops. Want to get his offense going. Now here's Economo, sizing up his defender.
Second half right here with his post moves, with his turnaround jump shots, has all been great.
And that time the shot is rejected. Able to win that battle. We'll go the other way with Stafford kicking out for a corner three. And we'll go the other way. Stafford and be in favor of the possession heading to the Comet side.
Yeah, we'll see who has the more endurance to keep this going and go into these deep rounds. It is,
Won't falling that time from John Wade. Pass and a foul is called. Uriah Benning will head to the line.
You gotta love the way Solano pushed that ball up to get in position to get these free throws. Get up to the half court, get the most.
And that's a good job by Coach Nagel, because when you keep the substitutions in, then that helps give your team breathers.
Yeah, Ricky Holland's been a big part of those substitutions to keep his starters fresh. He comes in, provides offense, length, and defense.
Second the ball as they come up the floor. No good. Neal, second chance opportunity. Good stop that time down low in the paint, but a foul is called. It's hard to tell from over here, but both teams now have 5 fouls. 2 more will put them in the penalty.
And that's where fatigue comes in.
As Devin Neal knocks down the first free throw. He shoots 76% from the line. As Andrew, second free throw, no good. They called a foul on.
Yeah, I also didn't see the on ball really.
Now to Scott. And now here comes Neal down low in the paint and scores with ease. Devin Neal with another bucket here. Other way with Wade to Nieves. Nieves taking his time developing his offense. Now to Wade. Wade down low. Neal get the steal, and cherry picking that time is John Wade.
Yeah, we need it.
There it is, another turnover there. Stepped out of bounds though.
Oh, Johnson steps out of bounds. 6:35 left. It is this.
A lot of contact on that, but that was definitely a rejection. And there it is, Stafford.
As he's able to put Solano.
Puts his team up. That guy, he got blocked on one end, gets back the steal, and then goes over there and energizes his crowd and his team with that, that score.
So as I regain my voice after my voice crack, as we'll take another look here.
So close.
But for right now, Solano talking it over as you're seeing.
And on the offensive end, they just got to take care of the ball. We saw a couple of matters, and they got to just control it and keep these.
Sort of shied away just a little bit.
Yeah, as you could tell, they're other than Yang, who was taking a lot of threes in the first half, but now they're kind of trying to make more of them. But that's really not their game either. I feel like if they feed Devin down low, which I've been saying all game, that it will really help them.
The handoff here. Now to Frazier. Frazier looking to go baseline. Shot is up. Won't.
Kickball is not so bad.
Andrew Giang checks in for the Comets.
Yeah, Yang gives the Comets more perimeter shooting. Oh.
Move inside. It's now 73-69. Wade unable
to take you out.
Get their offense going as here comes Uriah Benning. Here in the second half. Solano up by 4.
Yeah, even with the Falcons being up, they still have to continue their ball movement, don't
they?
What a pass. What a pass by Benning.
And back here in the gymnasium, and Solano
passes it inside of Stafford for the points.
That's definitely a motivation booster to come out here and not really come out with a strong performance, to hopefully come out with a win also.
Yeah, and it just seems like tonight's a whole thing going, and when they did, it was only.
It's been a key help with that has been Andrew Giang. You're mentioning also, Trey, we haven't seen much of his offense here in the second half.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet so far towards the end of the stretch. And
high tonight as we'll see how the Comets respond. Coming out of the timeout and a foul going off the.
Since the Comets are in the bonus, this is where you find yourself to creep your way back.
By 5 as Neal's second free throw is good.
Full court press by the Comets.
We saw it early in the first half, but now is the first time we're seeing it.
And that's how they create turnovers. Right now, they're taking their time.
Taking their time, not worrying about nothing as we see Stafford go up, and a foul is called.
Your mistakes. You're not committing the same mistakes that you do earlier in the game. You fix it down the stretch, and the Falcons are definitely executing that game plan.
And my apologies. I believe the referee leaning for 2 shots, but I guess they changed it. Good timeout that time. Oh, they call timeout.
A little bit more floor awareness. You would have seen Jordan Adams open in the corner.
Second chance up.
You're even out with everybody else down there when it comes to height, and you just show that you have the more energy down there.
And we see the difference, the turnover.
As it shows right there, unable to convert the 3-point play as we'll now go the other way. The handoff. Adams been real quiet here in the second half and just throws it away.
He left his feet and didn't have a right idea.
We saw it last night, and now we're starting to see it again. To Giang, and it's tipped.
I think it's time to just feed it down low, go to their bread and butter.
5 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, not a lot of.
Even though the game is close, the shot clock violation
out for them too tonight.
Yeah, and then moving forward, you lost last game, and now you have to make sure.
They just got to control the ball.
Yeah, definitely. With being 1-3 at home, you want to pull this win out, not just for the conference win, but.
We saw with that big play from 75 versus 56 last night, so it speaks for itself.
Yeah, being the lead right now.
As coming out of the timeout, here comes some more full court pressure. Let's see what Nagel and Aubert have in their playbook to execute this properly. Uriah Benning.
Yeah, that was not very smart. Making it harder for yourself.
And Benning's a very good free throw shooter. He shoots and it's good.
Smooth.
Yeah, not a very good foul by Elijah Canales because it just makes it, instead of being a one-possession game, now it's two.
Up his defender. Now with the handoff. Now to Frazier. No good.
% of enrollment fees can be reimbursed for first-time college students taking full technology, aeronautics, biotechnology, and many others. Solano Community College is a staple for success.
So we are back looking at his ankle.
Yeah, I'm glad they were able to help him off the court right there. Hopefully he can get better soon because his team does need him. He's able to. He's
Good passing here from Solano.
back and win this game.
Jordan Adams with that could be the big play Solano's looking for, and as the
Stop the clock for some crucial free throws here.
Yeah, it's good that they're getting to the free throw line. They just have to execute. Don't make it harder on yourself.
Rasheed Frazier at the line and knocks down the first.
Now you knock down this one, then you have a one possession.
Just checks out of the game. Good ball movement we're seeing here from the Falcons as they'll try to find Jalen Scott.
Double teaming.
A basket here could really be big for Solano as there's 4 seconds on the shot clock. Has to hoist one up and ball.
It's kind of out of order.
Well, you got to go for the best opportunity you have, but, you know, they've been shooting good from
Know about Andrew Yang.
I was not really going to be expecting it from him. And if you're Solano,
That's the problem in that situation where you foul. Is to send a poor free throw shoot to the line, it could end up costing you. He's going to stay Comets basketball. It was hard to tell from here if Adams was the last one to touch it.
yeah, I could see why that was a hard call for the ref. He's
Down in here are the Comets. Nieves. So we're going to show you Jalen Scott. We'll see another look. If you take another look at it, almost looks like that did go off Scott. Misses the first free throw. He shoots 66%.
Solano knocked down free throws. Points rush. They have to. It's in their gameplay now. They have
with pressure.
Left on the game clock. Trey Hunt and Nate McKay on the call for tonight's action. So he was a very good free throw shooter. We've seen a lot of times he has some clutch free. As his second one could definitely ice the game.
For a good of a three-point shooter that Jordan Adams is, it's good that he's able to knock down these free throws.
And he's able to get the roll. 81-77. Clock is ticking. They have to find a shot, and it is off target, and that will do it.
About shooting and aggressive on both sides.
For first-time college students in industrial technology and financial aid office.
Did what I had to do in the morning. So those.
All right. Thanks, Jordan. Great game. You had a great performance tonight. Good job, man. All right, so that does it for our James Thomas Media coming for you next here on Solano College Sports Network.